Are you ready? Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Let's do this thing, man.
The League Podcast.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How you doing? This is Dylan, Jacob, and Tyler with The League Podcast.
Yes, it is.
How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Let's get going, guys. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at TheeLeague.Podcast and on Twitter at TheeLeaguePod. Also, if you have not listened to our last podcast, Players 35 to 20, please check that out before viewing this one. You could just jump ship and go top 20 players.
Yeah. Go right to it.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. What about you, Ty? Let's see what you got.
We're going from 19. We talked about at the end of the show, I believe, with you. It's Todd Gurley.
Okay.
He's the only person on the Rams you should draft. That's all you need to know.
Wow, yeah, that's a pretty.
And if he doesn't do good this year, then
I
don't know
honestly
what
would
they're
draft Tavon Austin later and also Robert Woods later. Robert Woods last year on the Bills, he did decent.
I have one guy too you haven't talked about at all who you're super high on is Cooper Kupp.
Cooper.
So
that's
that's one of those sleeper guys that I just am surprised I haven't even. Dylan, I talks about so much, hasn't brought up on the podcast yet. So I wouldn't draft him, but that's a guy. One of those guys. Something happens to him, Cooper could.
Yeah.
God can't throw the balls.
But I like that statement. Todd Gurley is someone that I would definitely only feel comfortable drafting.
Yeah.
And I have him at 17, so he speaks for himself. Even though he had an off year, I think this year they're going to give him.
Well, they upgraded that offensive line, so
yeah,
I think he'll be good.
People,
some vets.
Hey.
Hopefully it works out.
I'm okay with that.
We'll see. All right, Dylan, you want to go?
Yeah, I got T.Y. Hilton. I'm a little bitter about T.Y. Hilton because I traded him last year, so I don't really want to talk about him.
19. I have him at 18.
Well, I talked about him at the end of last show too. Andrew Luck will throw him the ball.
Yes, he will. He always does something, and it's crazy to me with his height. He's little, and he still gets it done, man. I have so much respect for the little guys that are number one receivers, and line up with the best corners.
And if it's PPR, draft T.Y. Hilton.
Oh yeah,
T.Y. Hilton catches a lot of passes.
Even if Andrew's not in, they're trying to throw the ball to T.Y. Hilton. So I love.
They force feed him.
They do, and every year he's cradling that baby in the end zone.
That's right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, man. I have my at 19. I have my first tight end on my top 50, I believe. Yes. Travis Kelce at 19. I have. So that's someone I would definitely take in probably in the second round. Late second, early third is when I would take Travis Kelce. I'm not a fan of taking tight ends high, but that's where I have him because I think he's valuable. Tight ends are hard to get. Rob is the only person I have ranked above him, and I think he's a huge part of that offense. Especially Jordan Reed's not in it either. Nope.
Wow.
Tight ends to me, it's so tough, and Jordan Reed isn't. He is reliable when he plays, but
if
when
he's out there,
injured,
he's gonna.
So I only had two, I believe. That made my top 50.
So you left Jordan Reed completely off.
Yep.
Wow.
I did.
Nice.
35 for me with Jordan Reed. But,
all right. Well, I'll go up next. My 18, Dez Bryant, Cowboy homer pick. Finally. My first Cowboy off the board. Dez Bryant is finally healthy. I think he's going to be good.
So what do you say to me when I tell you I have Dez Bryant and I want to keep him so bad? I got Aaron Rodgers, and it's so I want to keep that running back and receiver. Because, like you said, there is a lot of depth at quarterback. But to have Aaron Rodgers on your team, I'm going to talk about him later, so I don't want to go too into detail.
I shouldn't be the one you bring this up with because we all know how I feel about drafting QBs. I would keep Dez, honestly.
Would you
if
keep
I had
Dez
to? Because he's going to go in the second round.
Dez or DeAndre Hopkins?
Oh, Dez.
So
you don't know what DeAndre Hopkins is.
What about you, Jay? What do you think? Dez or DeAndre Hopkins?
So I honestly, this year I'd go Dez. Look at when Dez got drafted last year. The year before that, he was top 10 every
year, first round.
Every year. Going into this year, people are going to be down on him because of what the stats he put up last year.
But they weren't that bad when he played. He put up points.
I think people are going to kind of sleep on Dez, but Dez, I think this year is going to play as well as we've ever seen Dez play. Yes. I love him this year as much as I don't like the Cowboys. I think Dez is amazing. I would actually pick Dez before DeAndre. just because DeAndre's working with a brand new quarterback too. Dak and Dez have a great
And
chemistry
DeAndre
already.
had a horrible, like we talked about last episode, he was the biggest bust of fantasy football. So how could you not trust Dez more than
I don't
him?
know. Todd Gurley was down there with him.
Well, that's true, but luckily you got rid of him right in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Dill pulls that off a lot of the time. Marvin
I
Jones.
think it's shady deals.
It's not shady. It's just I'm selling high. You know, you got to sell when the market's high.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, people bite. People bite.
They
That's
do.
something, guys, that you really should take advantage of. If there's a player out there that you see that isn't huge, like name wise, and he's killing it and going off and having great weeks, it might be a good time to sell high.
But I want to also bring up the point that could really, really bite you in the butt because
it could go by.
I traded for Todd
It's a
Gurley last
double-headed
year.
snake.
I traded for. They say I traded Marvin Jones at a great time. I did,
but
I traded.
I
traded Jordan Howard, and
Yeah.
that was the biggest mistake I did all last year.
That's crazy.
So, and I don't forgive myself for that at all.
Remember my computer crashed, so I auto-picked my first-round pick. I think I picked A.J. Green, like 5th overall or something like that. So I was just I was angry. I ended up trading A.J. Green for DeMarco Murray and Allen Robinson, which I then turned into Zeke Elliott. So, I mean, as long as they're doing good, no one wanted DeMarco. Everyone called me crazy when I traded A.J. Green for DeMarco last year. It worked out. He got good, and
he had a great year.
Turned him into Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, no, that's what you can work with. I mean,
yeah.
I went receiver heavy last year in the draft, and I turned it into the best running back in the league, or one of them with Le'Veon Bell from you, Tyler. Yes. So I was able to make something happen with a lot of receivers. I was able to get rid of Mike Evans, Jordy Nelson, and I was still able to keep
Crowell,
but I was still able to keep Odell Beckham. So I was able to keep that. So it worked out. So this year, as a keeper league, keeping 2 people, I got a star receiver and a star running back to start with. So I can't wait to build my team around them. Lev Bell and Odell.
Okay, who's up? I don't know. I just went right.
Yeah.
I got 18.
Yeah, we're on 18.
18.
Dill?
I have Jordy Nelson. I know you wanted to talk about him later, Jake, so I'm just going to skip over him. I'm just going to tell you guys my next couple picks, too. I got Mike Evans at 17, LaShawn McCoy at 16, and Amari Cooper at 15. Now, all I have to really say about all these guys is Mike Evans, as you guys saw last year, is a stud. This guy puts up 20 points per game. Tyler has him. He's keeping him, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, no, hold on. Let's elaborate on this a little bit. Did I not text you every day last year about Mike Evans, about getting him back?
Yeah, yes.
I wish you remember.
I wish
because
you guys
I tried
would know
everything to
these
get him
trade
back.
offers I would get for.
You never know with him. That's why I would throw it out there. Because one day he's like, you know what? Let's do this.
I would send all of those trade offers to Dylan, and we would just laugh at you because they're so stupid.
Well, I figured,
Well,
Jay could be dumb enough to accept it.
Jake goes in salesman mode and tries to sell people on these players, text them these huge things.
High, someone has one good week, you go in there and you sell. You get in there, people will buy. I'm telling you, the right people will buy.
Depends.
If you can.
If you have those dummies in your league, then you're good. We got a few.
But you should know I would never do that trade.
But hey, I thought might as well throw a couple out there. But hey, like I said, I got traded Lev Bell for those guys, so I think it worked out in the long run.
Yeah. So that's what I can think. Real quickly, LaShawn McCoy, Amari Cooper. LaShawn McCoy, if he's healthy, that guy's going to be a top 5 running back.
Yeah, and he's interesting going into this year. I'm very interested in him.
I know. So we'll see, though. I mean, like Tyler said, he talked about Jonathan Williams. Is that his name?
Jonathan Williams.
The sleeper pick for Tyler. I say if you have LaShawn McCoy, you pick that guy up.
The ultimate handcuff.
Yeah, you have to. We're going to talk more about handcuffs probably next episode, but, that's pretty big in fantasy. I mean, some people believe it, some people don't.
I have Shady in my top 10.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't like him at all. But he's there.
Yeah.
As long as he stays healthy, he's Shady McCoy, and
Shady
they run the
McCoy
ball.
Makes plays.
So
and they got rid of their other guys. They have one backup right now, or maybe a third guy that no one knows. So I mean,
yeah, Jonathan Williams.
their guy.
That's
so
it.
LaShawn's holding down for them in the running.
If I had him, would I keep him? Probably. Probably would. Running back is very
Shady?
slim.
Of course you would.
So.
Yeah. You have to.
See, Jared has a pretty tough going. He's got LaShawn McCoy. He's got Melvin Gordon. Who else does he have? He has Brandon Cooks. He's got.
Well, you'd have to
Man.
keep those running backs.
Yeah,
Stack
You'd
'em
have
up.
to.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Because you could get
Those
receivers.
are 2 top 10
That's
running
where
backs
I
right
would-
there.
yeah.
Dude.
He would never have to worry about running backs
No.
other than the bye week or if
Last
they get
year
hurt.
he didn't
Man,
either. He
that's the way
barely
to do
changed
it.
his roster ever.
Especially
Yeah.
with the
And
injuries
he
that
won it all.
happen week to week in at the running back position, to have the depth there is the
Yeah.
best thing, I think, in fantasy football.
Hopefully Melvin Gordon gets healthy, though.
Yeah.
But-
Exactly.
No
yeah.
Danny Woodhead, though.
And
Could
then
have
real quick, I
opportunity.
just want to finish up with my top 15, or 215. Amari Cooper. This
Coop.
guy's a stud. He makes plays. He's got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. If I'm at the end of the first round and Amari Cooper's still out there, depending on who else is, I would consider drafting him late in the first round. He's going to be a number 1 receiver, so
First round.
I would.
Oh my
Wow,
goodness.
Dill.
This guy's consistent. He's getting better each and every year, and
I have him,
there's been such high praise for
I have
him.
him in the third round, the beginning of the third round. I have him.
I have him in the beginning of the second, but I would take
Me
him at
too.
the end of
I
the
actually
first.
have him in the beginning of the third round as well.
He
So-
gets targets, but he makes a lot of drops, and he doesn't get the touchdowns. That's Crabtree's spot. So if it's a PPR, it's understandable. He'll catch a bunch of passes,
Yeah,
but
he gets down the field and then they feed it to Crabtree. Man, it's the way it goes.
yeah.
It's not.
And-
It's not. He
Well,
has
and-
better stats than Crabtree.
Touchdowns too.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. So, but I think Michael Crabtree.
Our
I think
stats
Michael
guy's gonna look
Crabtree
this up.
being such a good receiver takes away from as good as Amari Cooper could be. You
But
know what I
Amari's
mean?
number
So-
1 there.
He is absolutely, but is he? I feel like to be
And they
to
throw it
ta-
enough.
Take him in the first round as your number 1.
Last year, he had
I'd
83
put-
receptions,
I'd put people before him.
1153, and 5 touchdowns.
What was that? I didn't hear anything you
How many
said.
touchdowns though?
83 receptions, 1,153 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
So
But
Crabtree
he
had
could have
3
had
more
He could
touchdowns.
have had so many
than
more
Cooper.
touchdowns. How many touchdowns did Crabtree?
He had 8
8.
and 6 in the red zone.
Yeah, that's who they target.
That's who they target.
Amari Cooper's good. He's going to be
Yes.
good. I don't
Their
know if I'd
team
spend
is
my
amazing.
first round
Everybody-
pick on him.
Everybody's going to be
Right.
fantasy relevant, I think, in that offense without
Yeah,
a doubt.
absolutely. Absolutely. So what about you guys?
So
What
would
we
you
doing, going
do?
down to
I just kind
15?
of went all the way down to 15, try to
Okay.
just get them out there. There's only a couple guys I really want to go in depth with, and, they're right
All
after.
these people that we're talking about today, everyone knows they're the best of the best. It's kind of pointless to drag on what everyone already knows, but
Drag on.
drag on. So yeah, go down to your 15.
So
or-
we started at 19 already. T.Y. Hilton's my 18, we've already talked about. Todd Gurley is my 17, who we've already talked about. And then we got 2 of, I'm going quarterback high this year. I would take these guys in the second round. At
Oof.
16, I got Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. GOAT. So I don't have him as my top quarterback, so he's
Second
not
round?
the GOAT. But I would take him in the second round because he is so
well,
fantasy
he'll be there
relevant.
for you.
He will, absolutely.
I
But that's
took,
someone
I took
that's
A-Rod
someone
last
that
year in the second round.
this year, if I
Yeah.
had the ability, if we do another draft, I'm taking a quarterback high just to have, because those guys are putting up 30 points a week for you, 40 points a week for you. You know what I mean? Those guys are, to have that is I think untouchable. So I'm taking
Sometimes Aaron
Tom Brady
Rodgers
at
did
16.
bad for a while last year, though.
First 6 games.
Yes,
But no, not even. He didn't do bad.
it was consistent.
Yeah, he was
he
garbage
finishes
time,
the
man.
number 2
Player in
player
all
in
of.
fantasy
yeah.
football.
you were
last
trying
year.
to get me to trade Andrew Luck for Aaron Rodgers. I said no for some reason because
No.
Aaron Rodgers.
I would have
doing
never
that bad.
given you Aaron
That's
for
you,
Andrew.
you were offering it to me,
No.
so that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I was
I
trying to
would've
get
never
Aaron
I don't know
all
if it was
year.
a bluff or not.
Yeah,
but I got
no.
the offers.
I don't remember, personally.
So, well, speaking of Aaron, I have Aaron at 15. So, we all.
I have Aaron at 14
So
and Tom at 13.
and Aaron
So-
Rodgers, I know Dylan and I both love. I know Tyler probably secretly loves him. He just doesn't want to talk about it. But
Dak
I-
Prescott all
I
day.
think A-Rod, is the number 1 quarterback, and he's who I would take at the top of, right at the top of the second round. I go all skill players probably before that in the first
One of
round.
you guys' QBs.
But I would, because of the points they put
I'll
up.
be sitting here
It's
picking up all these
I don't
players.
understand how you don't think that a quarterback like why they wouldn't be at the top of your draft board because of the points they put up. So with these two elite quarterbacks, at least give them that. The guys behind them, I understand. You could find that possibly later in the draft, but these two guys I'm putting at the very top of my list.
I wouldn't use that high of a draft pick for a QB, but that's just me. We're obviously never going to agree on it, so just agree to disagree.
So we know Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady both
best.
have so many weapons. Not only to mention they're the best of the best, So
Tom Brady has
the pieces they have around them, though.
But so does the Packers, man. They
Yeah.
have all returning starters plus Martellus
plus
Bennett,
more.
who's gonna.
Each of them have boosted up their offenses.
So
I think Patriots.
That's
a little
why
bit
I'm
more,
sticking
but
with A-Rod as much as I want to keep like Dez or DeAndre
too.
or whatever.
I
I'm
think his
sticking
will
with
and
A-Rod. He's going to
determination,
give me the most
he's
points.
the GOAT.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I think you should change your mind, but whatever.
so anywho, 14. I got a tie. I got AJ Green and Michael Thomas tied out at 14. I really couldn't decide between both of them. I would take them both right there. I would take both of them possibly, end of the first round, honestly.
absolutely.
So I like him. But I have Brandon Cooks sneaking in there at 13 because he's playing with Tom Brady and the crazy offense.
absolutely.
So that's
The
why when you were talking
potential's
about Brandon Cooks, you had him a little lower than I projected him. So I have Brandon Cooks slipping in at 13, making my top 15.
I had him at 36, so yeah, but when you think about it, it's only a 2-round difference that we have him at.
Yeah.
So it's not that big.
Definitely.
All these people
and that's
close.
someone that I maybe I'm reaching on, but
Who?
Well, the
Brandon
potential's
Cooks.
there.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to be yet, but the potential's for sure
I just
there.
see, like we talked about, I think yesterday is Randy Moss. Like the potential with that, like I just.
Well, Randy Moss. I mean, you can't compare Randy Moss.
No,
to
you
Cooks.
can't. No, you
That's
can't.
In
not-
that
The
offense, though, I'm saying
statistics,
the possibility
stats.
of what he could do, similarity-wise. I'm not going to
Randy Moss
compare him
was
to
a-
Randy Moss.
But Randy Moss, what happens
stallion
was
running
Tom
around
Brady
the
would
field.
throw it, and Randy Moss would just beat him
Absolutely.
over the top, and that's what
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks can do. And that's
can
all
do.
I'm saying.
Take the top off of
Yeah.
D. So I have B. Cooks there. And then I have one of my... Did you go to 10 or 15?
I went to 15.
Oh, okay. So I'll stop there.
Well, I wanted to talk about Michael Thomas a little bit.
So, yeah, I know you wanted to elaborate on Michael Thomas. AJ Green, I figured... you picked him last year. I love him. I think without
AJ Green is 10 for me.
AJ Green, I got it.
Before we start talking about Michael Thomas, I'll just do the rest of my 15, so 17 through 15. 17, I have Michael Thomas.
Okay.
So might as well keep it there, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
17, I have Michael Thomas.
Number
Dylan,
one receiver.
You have
He
something
is.
to
He's
say?
the number one receiver in the Saints offense. Willie
And they
Snead
got-
is going to get a lot more looks because Brandon Cooks is gone.
Yep.
Brandon
But-
Cooks was a beast on that
He
team.
was. He
but
was.
I was so surprised when he actually ended up leaving there because I
It's
thought he was
because
so
they have
established
Michael
there.
Thomas,
Yeah.
though.
Because
That's the
they
reason
have-
why.
Because he's a
MT.
stud, man.
He's a beast. So I feel like they
He made-
are
He made
dependent on him.
first team All-Pro last year as a rookie.
Yeah.
No,
He's big, he's strong.
he's a great red zone target. I mean, that guy gets up there and gets it at the highest point. Him and Drew Brees have an unbelievable connection. I can't believe after one offseason, last offseason, all Sean Payton and Drew Brees were saying was how good this guy was. Sean Payton said, if I played fantasy football, I would draft him. He said that last season.
So look at that.
And look what happened. So
Yeah.
obviously
And we
he's
saw
super
it.
high on him.
Every game you saw
Every
it out of
single
Michael Thomas. I was so glad Quinn dropped him. I picked him up off the waiver wire, like unbelievable. Like one of those nights that you're hoping that the
Someone
next morning
does
you
that,
wake
yeah.
up and you
get him.
You requested for him, so you
Yeah.
hope that you end up with him the next day. And I did. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I mean, if you didn't,
I
have,
started him for the rest of my season. Michael
Yeah.
Thomas last year. Every
That's why
single
I'm
week.
so high on him because
So-
he scored so many points consistently for you. And Drew Brees is one of the best receivers, man.
He's playing with the best quarterback.
He's number
So,
23
if
on
you
my
didn't
list.
have Bell and Odell, I mean, he would be your keeper,
Yeah.
right? Michael Thomas would have to be
He's
your
my
keeper.
third person on my team.
Yeah,
I
you're gonna have to
you know,
drop him.
I'd have to look. I have Alshon too. Like Alshon, I think could do some things, but I
But
would
you're gonna have
definitely
to drop
I
both
would
of them.
keep. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So
So I
those are
think-
gonna.
no.
That's gonna be one of the top picks in our keeper league
he
draft.
is the end of a first round, top of the second round pick. To
Absolutely,
me,
me
so,
too.
Yeah.
I
So
love
in
Michael
our
Thomas.
league, will probably be the first pick.
Yeah.
Probably.
yeah,
I mean,
in that third round, really. It
yeah,
starts in the
because it
third
starts at the third. I mean, there's obviously gonna be people
round. Oh yeah,
that
maybe
don't really know
maybe second
what's
or
going
half
on.
the second round. I don't know.
Or you could be like Dylan and keep Aaron Rodgers for some reason, but
Hater.
But yeah, those
But
are people,
you know
people
what?
available for us.
I
We'll
think
see.
that you started to bring this up, Tyler. Dylan is actually rethinking his decision.
Yeah.
He's actually now not thinking about keeping Aaron Rodgers because I think of some of the stuff that you've been saying to him. So he's today he was like, man, so what if I did keep a receiver and a running back? Please make
Then
my
you can have
day.
two
Make
number
my
ones.
day.
You can have a number one at running
But
back.
I
and
can
number one
draft
at receiver.
a number one receiver.
Maybe.
And I've got a plan, so I'm just gonna keep it at that. I've got a vision.
Secret
Doesn't wanna give
plan.
out too
Guess
much.
what, Dylan? We have a podcast now. There's no more secrets.
There's no more secrets.
seriously.
Everything's
Or
out
else
there.
you're just cheating our fans,
Yep,
our
I was gonna say.
audience.
I'm
Is
telling
that
you
what
right
you're
now,
gonna do?
I'm hoping to draft, a Packer in the first round next year.
I love it.
Yeah.
Packer receiver. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's good. Yeah, I know what you're gonna do. You're drafting Jordy so you can have that one.
As
what
we
we were
speak of
talking
that-
about, quarterback wide receiver combo.
Can I get back to my 15?
Yes, sir. Go
So
for
at 16, I have Gronk. At 15, I have Jordy. So
Gronk at 15?
16.
16?
Gronk is at 16 for me.
I got him at 11.
He
it.
gets
Dude,
hurt.
I have Gronk at 11 too.
Yeah.
There it is.
He's injury prone, so that scares me. And there's every single year the Patriots get more and more weapons, and
Doesn't matter.
They lost Martellus Bennett. I think this year he goes right back into his role.
well, he better stay healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously,
If he's healthy,
if he's on the field,
top
he's
10
good.
player. Yeah.
I mean, 16 is a
Just
second round
tough.
pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
That's
doing
what
what
I
he does
think.
every
I'd draft him in the
offseason
first
parties.
round.
so
I
he
like
looks
drafting.
healthy.
I like drafting running backs early because there's so few of them.
I agree.
I completely
So
agree.
my top 10 has way more
Unless-
I have
running
six
backs.
running backs in my top 10.
I must admit
Yeah.
though, if Lev Bell I don't get, I'm taking one of those three receivers before I'm taking the next running back.
Oh, you're crazy.
I am because I'm a receiver.
David
I played
Johnson
receiver.
for
I played
sure.
receiver
All day.
I love
Glory
it.
days.
I love what receivers can do playing in a PPR league, guys. That's what I like. a
David
receiver
Johnson in a PPR league.
100 receptions this year. I'm just
Come
saying
on.
that.
Come on.
from DJ.
100 receptions, 1,000 receiving yards,
Okay.
1,000 rush yards.
I think he'll have the double, 1,000, but 100 receptions. I don't know if he'll have.
You guys aren't going to talk about Jordy. I just kind of laid it up for you guys.
No, I think
I don't
Jordy's-
like talking about
I
Jordy's
talked,
only-
talked about him
Jordy's
earlier.
my 10 overall player, so he made
Oh, yeah,
my
we
top
said we were
10.
going to talk about it later.
Okay.
I-
Save
so
it
what
for
was he
later
for
then.
you?
Why don't we just talk
15.
about it?
He was
He's your 10
15.
right now.
So he's my 10. I think he's playing in one of the best I think the best offense in the league, next to the Patriots. I think Jordy Nelson's playing off. Also, he was injured the year before last, so he played
And
last
he
year.
looked injured most of last year, too.
He
And
was
he's
playing slow.
still-
He was playing slow, but
Yeah.
this year he's going to be even more confident coming off
He
a
needs
gnarly
Adams
injury.
to help him
So
out, take some
Adams
of the
is going to
load
help
off
him out. He's going to have a bit of a run game this year. They drafted a bunch of running backs to help out in the run game. So I know Jordy's going to have an absolutely great year. He
14 touchdowns last year.
Mhm.
1,257
I feel like he
yards.
got all 14 of those in the last 4 games too.
Maybe
he was getting crazy numbers at the end of the year.
That's definitely someone I would take in my top 10. That's my top 10, my 10 player overall. I'm
First round.
I don't want to be biased on Jordy. I love him so much.
You are.
I'd take him in the first round,
I love him,
especially
and
if I have
A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Both those guys,
I
man,
wouldn't.
together. Especially
So
if
he's in
you
your
were
top
able
10.
to keep A-Rod and still pull off Jordy in the first round. I think that duo is unbelievable.
And that,
With
not to
DJ
mention,
as
we
well.
talked about Jared earlier. He's got Jordy as well. So he's got plenty of options for his keepers. Lucky guy.
Yeah.
But then again, not very
Well,
lucky.
that means he's gonna have to drop
Yeah.
Jordy.
Yeah, which I hope he's out there.
Or he'll drop Gordon or
Who knows?
And either of those, either of those guys we're flourishing from, so I'm all right. I'm happy. I can't wait for the draft. We might even do a live draft, but who knows? We'll talk about that later.
No, we will.
tease
will.
it. We'll tease it for now.
We'll tease
Maybe
it.
we will. I don't know yet.
We'll see.
to
To be continued.
Maybe some special guests. I don't
So
know.
I think Jordy. I mean, we don't need to elaborate any more on. He's a first round pick in my book and Dylan's book
Second.
and Tyler's.
On my
second
list,
round.
he's number 18.
That's
But-
the second.
Oh,
It
okay,
is.
sorry.
He is in the
I'm
second.
being biased.
Yep.
But
You always are.
Sorry,
It was
but no, I
I'm
think
high on
he's.
him. I think he's going to be a number one receiver. He's going to be a top 5, top 10.
I would take him into the first round.
First or second round.
So that's Jordy. That was what, your 15th?
15, yeah. So do you want to... We're all at 15 right now.
Well,
right?
I've
You wanna
already
go to
talked
your
about,
10?
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Michael Thomas, Rob Gronkowski, and those are my 11 through 15. We've talked about every single one of them. So
Okay.
You guys wanna
skip
go?
you
Well,
then.
What was that, 11 through 15? So what, you just have your top 10?
my top
basically?
10, I'm ready.
Perfect. So, I mean, we've talked about kind of mine. I want to elaborate on Melvin Gordon.
He's in my top 10.
If he's 12 for me. So I got to Brandon Cooks at 13. Melvin Gordon's 12 for me.
So maybe we should hold off since it's on our top 10.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Wisconsin boy, bred. I mean, I love him to death. I made a dumb trade last year, which I know Tyler's in there.
I totally forgot about that.
But so if he happens to get out there, then I swear I cannot wait to draft him. So
I think you gave him away for a high five.
Pretty much.
So anywho, I don't want to go there.
But you did get a draft pick out of it, so you have 2 third-round picks this year.
I have 2 third-round picks. So this league, it might be a little unorthodox to everyone else, unless you've run a Dynasty League, Keeper League. So you're able to draft or trade draft picks. So I actually, even though I did get rid of Melvin Gordon, I got this year's third-round pick too, which in reality, if everybody keeps their first 2-round picks from last year, I have the first overall
Could be first and second.
Two
overall
first round picks next year. So I think I mean, whatever. We'll see how it plays out. But I want Melvin Gordon. I love Melvin Gordon from Wisconsin. Has, a pretty good offense, a really good offense around him. But we'll talk more about him when we get to him.
Okay, so at 14, I'm at 14. I have Mike Evans. Mike Evans.
Wow, I have him higher, man.
I have him at 17.
I have that 7.
17?
I have him as a top 10 pick.
Really?
Yes, man. I love Mike
Hopefully.
Evans.
I mean, he's going to be my keeper, so hopefully he does that.
Even, too, like, which I don't know if we've elaborated on, with Deshaun Jackson, I think it's going to help him so much. They're not going to have to... He was going through the end of the games, literally getting destroyed. Everybody knew they were going to him.
Triple team.
He's going to have a little help this year, which, man, he's going to be just... cake, he's gonna get it.
He's gonna get those one-on-ones.
Yeah,
and he's gonna score every time.
No one can beat him.
6'5", so 230, and
he had a beast year last year, and this year is gonna be even better for him.
So.
And Jameis Winston is a candidate, one of my candidates for breakout player.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously, Jameis Winston is good, but
his weapons are ridiculous this year.
From going from good to elite, like he could be one of these, like a Derek Carr next year or something that you guys are ranking high.
Yeah.
He could be one of those people that people are just
with that offense around him. They've been building. They know what they have. They're trying to get it to where he has those weapons around him to be elite, like you're talking about, and go to the playoffs and actually do something with that team. And they're young. They have a young team, which is great because they're just through the years to come going to build. So
he'll be on my team this year, and Jake will not get him from me. So
see, maybe a drunken night. I'll be able to talk
No, Quinn and my dad are the guys you guys want to go after when they're drunk. They don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
actually, my dad just teases you and just tells you.
You can never make a trade with your dad.
But Quinn, you get Quinn drunk, you get any player on his team for nothing.
We'll have Papa come in and talk on the podcast someday.
Yeah, soon.
He actually has good advice, which is what sucks about it.
He's pretty smart when it comes to this stuff.
He's literally like the
fancy
he keeps football guru.
But he knows sleepers.
He fell off last year, though.
Yeah, well, you'll be hard to judge him because he might. Who knows what he's going to throw out? He might even want to trick you guys because he doesn't want you guys to know his stuff. So we got to watch it.
Every year he has the worst draft possible, worse than everyone else combined. And it turns into the best team in the league. I don't know how it works.
I was going to say, we think he has the worst draft possible, and then we're like, what the heck? Like, how is this? Dang, this guy's good. Like, you actually, and then he picks up the right guys, he's a great player. I mean,
he knows what he's doing. We got a couple of good players in our league,
Absolutely. We got more than a couple.
Even bringing Mike Estep in this year, it was his first year, and he had a great year. He came in third place, I believe. He beat me in the playoffs, so...
Jared, when Ryan plays, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Jared, he won the league, so he's good. I'm glad we brought him in.
We have other Jared.
Oh yeah, we got Jared Gano.
He's good.
He is. And he's into it. You
know? He traded me Zeke, so he could stay in as long as he wants.
But
keep trading me those players. Let's get down to 10. I'll finish this off. At 13, I have Jay Ajayi.
Wow, he's in my top 10.
Yeah, I figured he probably would be.
He's in my top 10.
12, I have Jordan Howard. And at 11, I have AJ Green. We'll save the Ajayi and Howard talk for you guys.
I know Jake's really high on Jay Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi. I traded him as well last year.
You got him at 8? I got him at 9.
Look at that.
So it's all close. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, I got Melvin
He's
Gordon
a first
at
round
8.
pick, no matter where you're going to take him in that.
I'm always so scared of everyone on the Dolphins.
Well,
Always.
and those 1 year, this guy just came off a huge year. Like,
Yeah.
I know I've already talked about
There's
Jeremy
always-
Hill, but
yeah.
man, they blow up. But
Yep.
mind you, his offensive line is a lot better, and I have the faith in Jay. You watched him pound the rock last year, having multiple games back to back over 300 yards. I was in wow factor mode last year with him.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
I think he's gonna go in the top 10 this year
For sure, he's a first-round
So-
pick.
or
He's
top
going to
12.
get fed the
Top
ball.
8 through 12. I think.
Yeah,
is where
I
he's
think
getting
he
picked.
could. If he's fallen to the top of the second round, pick him up quick.
Bottom
I
of the
think
first, even. I mean, running backs are so
And
scarce.
remember, last
Yeah.
year,
Well, I
Arian
had people
Foster
ahead of him,
played,
so-
right? Before he did.
Yeah.
He had 8 touchdowns to finish the season. He's scoring 10 touchdowns this season. Like, he's going to...
Easily.
Right.
Easily.
If
1,500 yards.
If it plays out like it should, and it sometimes doesn't
Yeah.
with these guys, so it's
But
hard
they're
to
basing
say.
their
Most of the time.
offense. They're basing
Yeah.
their offense
They are.
on the run, and that's what they did at the end of the year, and they were winning games. That's
what
the
worked
thing.
for them. So
And I
with
was
that
reading
O-line-
about it with Adam Gase, the head coach. He was explaining how going into this year, he wants to ground and pound, and then he's got the depth at receiver with Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills,
Devontae
Devontae Parker. Now they got Julius Thomas, right?
They need to loosen the load of Ryan Tannehill, and that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Just run
Yeah,
the rock.
exactly.
and they found it with him.
He averaged 5 yards a carry last year.
But
They knew he was
You
getting the
never
ball.
know.
Yeah.
So far, he's had one good year.
So next year, if he
I know that when he got in the league, everyone was concerned about his health, if he was capable of being healthy. So that's still a concern. I mean, with running backs, they get hurt all the time. Yes. So we're at the top 10 now. Let's get into the top 10. Finally, we're almost done. We're going to the top 10. You guys probably already know who these players are going to be, but we're just going to explain ourselves a little bit with a few players. So Dylan,
Let's do it, man.
do you want to go?
So who do you have 10
Should we
through
go?
5?
Yeah,
Bill?
let's just go 10 through 5
10
right
through
now.
5. Okay, so 10 through 5. AJ Green 10, JJ 9, Melvin Gordon 8, Jordan Howard 7, Julio Jones 6, and Ezekiel Elliott 5.
Dang, Julio didn't make your top 5.
He did.
Wait, Zeke is number 5?
Number 5.
Oh my goodness.
I have Zeke
I
in
can't
the
even
same
talk
spot.
to you guys. Don't even talk to me anymore.
Where's Zeke on your list?
He's number 3, and I have him projected to get the most rushing touchdowns over anyone in football this year. So
I don't.
there's that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have him projected to get 15 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
I have him projecting some serious
Maybe
fines and
11,
some time off.
12.
So.
Yeah.
But
Especially,
you also-
yeah, he's probably going to be getting
No,
like
but you also
8.
funny. realize
I hope he doesn't. Actually, I hope everything works out for Zeke, honestly. But I love the player. But seriously, it's scary with that going into this new season. So we'll see before the draft.
I'm not worried about
Hopefully all the news comes out before the draft and we know what's going on. So you have it figured out.
They're just
Yeah.
trying to scare me. Don't listen to anything that
We'll
they're
find
saying.
out.
Nothing's
I mean,
going to happen to
nobody
Zeke.
knows.
Yeah.
Zeke's gonna be
Otherwise,
fine.
no, I completely agree. He's playing behind the best O line in the league. He's a force to be reckoned with.
He is, man.
That whole offense.
I agree.
Is
So Jordan Howard.
Yes, Jordan Howard.
still
Like
the
I
boy.
said last year, I traded him, and I'm so depressed that I did because I would have kept him in a second. He's a top. I would probably take him top 5, but it's just so tough with these
I
other
have him at
players.
the very top of the second round. So
I have him at 9. What do you have him at, Dill?
I have him at 7.
7.
He's my 4th
so we're
running
all
back.
high on him,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't know.
Well, it's crazy. He had
People-
the
he's
second
like the
most
same-
rushing touchdown, or second most rushing yards in the league
Yeah,
in the entire NFL, only behind Zeke. So that's what's crazy to me. And he didn't start every game. He
Yeah.
didn't. So him having a full season, they've improved their offense, kinda. Their quarterback situation's a little scary.
They have a decent O line.
They have a good offensive line,
Yep.
so
Yeah,
they're gonna run it. With a rookie quarterback or even
They have a better
Mike
O line
Lennon.
than last year, and that's saying a lot for what he did last year. Jordan Howard killed it. Obviously, he had 6 touchdowns, over 1,300 yards. So I think.
yeah. I can't wait to see what Mitch Trubisky could do.
I know.
don't know.
But
I mean,
Mike Lennon.
he's gonna have to be able to pass it a
I-
little bit for Jordan Howard. to do what he's capable of doing.
Don't even get me started. Mark my words, Deshaun Watson is going to destroy anything Mitchell Trubisky could ever think of.
Obviously.
I cannot believe he was the second overall pick and they traded up for Mitch Trubisky. That amazes me. I wanted to throw that out there. Deshaun Watson is going to be the guy.
But
he's going to be the Dak Prescott, even though Dak Prescott got taken way later.
With Jordan Howard, that's what scares me about him is I don't know what the Bears are this year. They got rid of Alshon Jeffrey.
You know what? I like him a little bit more now. He's born on November 2nd.
You guys share a birthday.
We share a birthday. So I'm higher on Jordan Howard now. And don't
Now
say he doesn't have a
he's
passing
number one.
game. Who was his passing game last year? Nothing. They had nobody. And he still do. They knew they were running the ball. Every
they still
defense
knew they had
knew
to
it.
guard Alshon when he was out there.
Yeah,
Cameron
but Alshon was
Meredith did good
suspended.
for
I
him,
mean,
too.
how much
Meredith,
did
their starting
Alshon
receiver
really?
Now we're out. But it has to be. Who
Meredith?
else do they have?
Yeah,
Meredith is their
Meredith.
starting
And they're
receiver.
hoping, Kevin
Who
White
I
can
think
come
was
back from
only
injury.
something because talking about one single man coverage. Everyone was focused on Alshon. And then, Jordan Howard. Then that opened up Meredith. I don't think Meredith does anything.
But what happened when Alshon was suspended? Meredith stepped
That's
up
true,
and
he did.
he played well.
Mhm.
So
As their
he's
number
one of my
one.
sleepers, Meredith. I mean, he's like you guys said, he's the only
Playing
guy.
with Mitch.
Just like Quincy Enunwa or whatever on the Jets.
That's a good point. I know that's off, but what do you guys think about Enunwa? Is he someone you guys
He's a
mess with
sleeper.
this year?
I would draft him. I would take him
Who
later
else
if
do
he's
they have to
there.
throw to?
Exactly.
It's
He's
the
going to
same
get targets.
thing.
He's going to get receptions. He plays a lot out of the slot, so he gets those short, quick
Yeah.
passes. So he's going to get you 10 to 15 points if he
I
scores a
think,
touchdown.
Just on a consistency basis, the Jets,
PPR.
they scare me.
Oh, of course.
You
of course,
so
man.
I
Who's
kinda-
going to play quarterback? Who's their quarterback?
Teams that just I kind of stay away from for fantasy football relevancy. So
I'm gonna bring up someone in the Jets later. Not on my list.
I know. That's
but-
why I know you got some players.
Yes.
You got a player, so
Yes. Is there anyone else that you wanted to talk about?
Just, someone in the top 5 so you guys can go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to go?
I have
10 through 6.
Jordan Howard at 9, Jay Ajayi at 8, who I think with crazy offensive line. I love their O-line. I think they, behind the Cowboys and Steelers and Raiders, have a great O-line.
They have
Wait,
to be
the
able
Dolphins?
The Dolphins.
Wow, that's pretty high praise.
They really, I love them. I think
I
they,
like the guy they drafted last year, the weed smoker with the ski mask
Tunsil?
on. Yeah.
That's their O-lineman. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. That's our boy right
Yeah.
there.
That's
he was
our
a
boy.
number 1 pick, and he fell all the way to 13
12
to
or
the
13.
to the
And
Dolphins.
he did good in a lot of those.
He's
Yeah.
going to blow up this year. Their O-line, I think, is
He did
definitely
good
a
last
force to be
year.
reckoned with.
He did good for a rookie.
Exactly.
Usually rookie tackles don't do very good. Ask Dylan about all his
I know,
tackles
on
that
the
they
Rams.
draft.
So
They
sad,
love
dude.
drafting their tackles.
So I think their O-line is like 4th, 5th in the league best. So I think Jay Ajayi.
Wait, but who has the best offensive line in the league?
I'd say the Browns now.
Shut up.
I was thinking someone else too. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah?
the Raiders?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe the Raiders
sure.
or
Yeah.
we don't want to really talk
So
about
we-
it.
Bears.
So we won't bring
Bears
that
got a
up
good
then.
one.
So
it's the Cowboys, if you guys were wondering.
Yeah, they're up there, too.
they're up
they're
there. They're like historically the best offensive line to ever exist already.
Oh, I don't know.
Titans
Yeah.
are up there, too.
Now we got Lyle Collins finally got his.
All right,
grown
enough
man
about the
strength.
Cowgirls.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
move on. I don't
got
want to talk
excited.
about them anymore.
So,
I got excited real quick. Sorry.
Mike Evans, your boy, I got at 7, and then 6, I got David Johnson. He didn't make my top 5. You guys don't riot, don't fight right now.
Wow.
No, David
Dude,
Johnson
get outta
in my
here.
top 5.
I'm done listening
So
to you, man.
listen, man.
Come
Was
on.
that
I know you guys are so high on him, but man, he's coming off a crazy injury.
Crazy injury? It
Yeah.
was a sprain.
Dude.
He didn't tear anything. Everything
When we
was
heard
connected.
about it, we heard that he was out for the rest of the next season. I'm scared. I'm a little worried.
That was
and
rumors for a week.
And I put him behind Zeke Elliott, who made my top 5, who has the best O-line in the league. Lev Bell, who has the best O-line in the league. And then 3 receivers who I think deserve to make the top 5. So
No.
DJ, I think he's my 3rd running
You
back.
guys are about to find out
He's my 3rd running back.
that you guys should not listen to Jake after.
We'll see. I hope he
you
does
think
well.
that 6th pick was bad. You need to see his top 5.
Top 5 is
it's
great.
embarrassing.
If you play in a PPR, I think
It's
this is the way to go.
embarrassing.
I mean, I agree
And-
with Jake,
and you
but
know
at
what?
the same time, David Johnson is not number 6.
I need
If you
guys
get
will
Jordan,
like it.
if you get David Johnson at 6, oh my God,
blessed.
you are lucky.
And I think that's where he should be
You are
taken.
lucky.
If you have
That's a steal.
these 5 picks, this is what I would definitely go with it. So DJ, I got at 6.
That's a joke.
Dill will elaborate.
That is a joke.
You guys are hilarious.
I mean-
Wait till this season plays out. He's going to be a little worse than you guys think he is.
Well,
He's not playing behind the best offensive line.
1,000 yards
year,
rushing,
in the league.
1,000 yards receiving, and
Zeke,
100
you keep saying
catches.
that's
So
why.
Zeke should be number 1 then,
Zeke
right?
made my top 5. No, Lev
You know
Bell
what? I
is
just
one.
changed-
Lev
I
Bell
just-
is one because no one can receive like Lev Bell and run with the patience of Lev Bell. No one's better in the league than Lev Bell. He, like he said, is the Steph Curry of the NFL. I don't even want to get started. How can you guys put DJ over Lev Bell? I hope he gets the contract.
Steph Curry.
I hope he gets the. No, I mean that's what he said. He said I'm going to be
say
like
last
change
year,
the league.
Guys, listen to this.
That's
last
better.
year,
I love
David
that.
Johnson.
Right.
David Johnson's stats last year, and this is why I know he's going to do better this year. He's got 1,239 yards rushing, 16 rushing touchdowns,
16.
Oh my gosh! Look up.
80 receiving receptions. I'm sorry, and 879 yards receiving.
And how
with
many
4
games
touchdowns.
did he play in?
16.
So how many games did Lev Bell play in?
14.
There's how many more games there that David Johnson played to get those stats? Give
Two.
Lev Bell those
2
those,
games.
those
2 more games.
2 more games, and I guarantee Lev Bell's better.
Well, let's
4
call
more
it.
games. I'm sorry.
Let's call it how it is.
You say
What-
4?
4 more games.
4 whole games. And what did he finish with?
Yeah, you're right.
So Lev Bell is a better player than David
It's
Johnson.
not true.
And I
He's
think
not a
in my
better
opinion,
player. He's
I
not
just
a better
shut
player.
these guys up because Lev Bell is better than David Johnson.
He's
I'll
not.
put that on the record.
No, he's not.
Wait
He's got
till the end
a
of the
better.
next year.
He's got a better surrounding cast. Is
Okay,
what he has.
That's fair enough.
That
I'll
opens
take
it
that.
up.
I'll take that.
David Johnson, they're putting
That's
8 in the
why
box.
That's why I have David Johnson at 6 and not my top 5. That's why I would take Lev Bell above DJ, and that's the reason. I know you guys are high on him, but that's why.
Still gonna get
So,
100.
DJ at
100,
6, and then
1,000.
who I got at 5 is Zeke. And hey, don't get me wrong. I hope he does get the 100 and 1,000 yard marks next year. I love DJ. I don't nothing against him. You guys are hating heavy, all right? But he's not my top 5. But I do have in my top 5 Mr. Zeke Elliott, who I'll just let you elaborate on because I don't want to talk about him.
Wow. Well, I didn't even get to my 10 through 5 yet, so I'm gonna clear that.
There you
up.
go. Yeah, go for it. 10 through 5, and then I think where do you have Zeke? Oh yeah, top 3 of course.
Well,
so
at 10 I have.
you'll touch base on Zeke
At 10 I have Melvin Gordon.
and his new news with everything that's going on. Sorry.
Oh man, I was gonna skip. Okay, DeMarco Murray at 9. Titans finally found some kind of offense because of DeMarco Murray, and they're just gonna get better. Marcus Mariota is just gonna get better, which means they're not gonna rely on DeMarco so much, but that should help them out.
Yeah.
Should not put so much wear on.
Yeah,
him.
at least has another year or 2 of being the number 1 running back on that team.
Yeah. So
And like you
Late
mentioned,
first round?
Their O-line. They have a great tight end. They have receivers now. They have a young
It's a
team.
great offense, man.
Man, they are sick. I love the Titans, man. I think they have a lot of firepower.
So at 8 I have LaShawn McCoy. I'm
It's your boy.
no, not my
Your
boy.
boy.
But the Bills offense to me just likes to run it, and
They do.
it seems like that's all they like to do for the most part. They'll throw it up to Sammy every once in a while. He'll break his knee, and then he'll be out the rest of the season, and then they keep running it. So Shady McCoy's in the first round for me. At 7 I have Devontae Freeman, which
Whoa.
is high. Yes.
Holy macaroni and moly. Okay.
We've
He made your what'd you say? Top
7.
7. Okay. Top 10, you got Devontae Freeman with a 1-2 punch into Tevin Coleman. You
Well,
think he's going to finish?
okay, so the
in
thing
top
is,
10?
if you draft Freeman in the first round, you better reach up to get Coleman. You don't have a choice.
You think so? You have to handcuff
Yes,
immediately.
you have to.
So,
you
like,
have
what
to.
round do you take Coleman then? Because I got Coleman at, I think, 40.
That's what I was going to
no,
say.
30.
Probably 30.
I mean, no, wait, 39. I have Tevin Coleman, right under 40.
I'd say if it was like late, if it was late third round, or if he's last till the fourth round, take him there.
But I believe you were ripping on me for having Tevin that high. But like you said, okay, I can take that. If you get Freeman in, if you reach for
If you
Freeman,
have if
then
you don't
you
have
must
Freeman,
get
I
Coleman.
wouldn't
Yeah.
reach up for Coleman.
But-
But if you draft Freeman, I feel like you need to reach up.
what puts you
and
in a
get him.
shitty situation is you then waste a pick on Tevin Coleman
Yes.
to have, and then what? What if they stay healthy all year together,
Hey,
and then they're
it
each
happened-
killing it,
It happened last
and
year.
you have one sitting on your bench, or do you play both of them?
Who
I mean,
had them both? Bo had them both.
No, Mike Estep had Freeman,
Oh,
and Bo had Coleman.
Okay.
Yeah, so
someone
Tyler
in my
definitely
other
has
league, someone in my other league had both of them,
dimension.
and there was weeks that he started both, and we
It
were
worked
making
out
fun
for
of him.
It did work out.
Yeah, they both had over 20
I talked
points.
about
I
it
mean,
last podcast. When they both are in, they both flourish. They both actually put up points and are fantasy relevant. So that's why having him. Do you think they not necessarily can't max out and be a top 10 player because of each other? Or
it didn't happen last year, so I'm just gonna stick with
did
that.
Devontae Freeman finish as a top 10 player?
Oh, yeah.
He did.
Yes.
As a top 10 running back for sure. I don't know
Yeah.
about top 10
Tevin
player.
Coleman though was hurt,
It's partial.
so it was just Devontae that leaned on him for a while.
Yeah.
And then towards the end though, they got to Tevin Coleman back into it. But
Yeah.
that's crazy. Not crazy. That's a good
No, I like it.
prediction.
Yeah, I like Freeman.
I
Drop
do
Freeman. I like that
too.
whole offense,
Me
actually.
too.
Let's stick with the
Yeah.
Falcons at number 6. I have Julio Jones.
I have Julio at 6'2".
Yeah, so Julio Jones.
Top 3 player, Julio.
He's just getting older. He's still a monster. I mean,
Gosh, seeing what he did last year, man, that took me to a different place watching him play. I was like, I was getting like emotional. He was doing things on the field that he wasn't human, man.
yeah, no, he's not human.
But he is coming off another surgery, but that's
Mhm.
every year, right? I mean, it seems like
and
Julio.
he'll be hurt the whole year too, and he'll still go up and get you 30 fantasy points because that's what Julio does.
That's what Julio does, and like you said, that whole offense, it's going somewhere, and it's gonna go to all of them. It could be they score 40 points a game. You know, everyone's getting.
I think
fed.
everyone's gonna get there.
Totally. So I like him regardless. Top 5. You guys have him outside your top 5. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
I value running backs more.
I know.
Yes,
And
me
I
too.
value these 3 receivers, AB, Julio, and Odell, a little higher than.
Well, let me just get through this. My receiver stretch because I have them all in a row. At 6, I had Julio. At 5, I have Odell.
Okay.
I have
And at
Odell
4, I
four.
have Antonio Brown.
So I'm one above
In a
you.
row.
3, Antonio Brown. 4, Odell.
So-
and 4 or 6, Julio.
All right. So
Yeah.
you have Antonio Brown above Odell.
Yes, for sure.
So what's that about?
It's Antonio Brown. What are you talking about?
I know. But
It's
It's 1-2. For me, it's 1-2. Odell,
Oh yeah,
Antonio.
they're both good.
I don't know who's 1. I don't know who's 2. I'm putting Antonio 1 because he's. I mean, they're both. I don't want to say
He
they're not
deserves to
consistent.
be there.
No, exactly.
Why? What did he do to not? I mean,
Odell just
did
does
not
knucklehead things. You know,
Yeah.
that's what scares
You
me.
don't
I
know
think
if
he
he's going to
comes
get
back from
suspended for a game or get kicked out in the middle of a game. Like
Yeah.
you don't know with Odell.
yeah, I just feel like
But his talent is there.
And I trust Big Ben throwing the ball a lot more than Eli because Eli has horrible games.
No, he does. He's just not. He's not a horrible quarterback, but
He's not a horrible
he
quarterback,
didn't
but
do
some
much
days
for
he
me.
won't even target Beckham.
Well, now though, I think they elevated their offense to the point where they're going to be able to spread it around, and Odell's going to actually be able to have fun because they're going to win. I feel like they're going to win this year. So with that, Odell's going to be looser. He's not going to make those knucklehead mistakes. I feel like Odell is going to be in his literally his prime this year, coming in. I mean, possibly renegotiating a contract. I mean, he could be feeling like a.
They're right there. They're 4 and 5 for me, so I see it too. But I still,
I agree.
You value running backs higher, but and I see that too. Because,
well, with Brown, like I'm just comparing Brown with Odell.
Yeah,
I mean, what did Brown do last year that I shouldn't trust him?
No, he was there.
it's
He was
it's
there.
Antonio
Absolutely.
Brown.
I just feel like now with Martavis Bryant back, they have some extra people, but so does
Should help
Odell.
him.
Brandon Marshall now with Odell, I feel like both ways it's both going to help them.
And not to mention Evan Engram, who
Yeah.
I love.
That's what I mean. They
this
have
guy
more power.
is
They
stud.
have extra pieces to this.
But I mean, I love them both. They're both, like I said, 1-2 on my list. They're both so close. I don't even know who to rank 1 or 2. So I'm going to give the edge to Antonio Brown.
Yeah, because he deserves it.
Yeah.
And what's that at 4 for you?
That's 3 for me.
I just
So
got
you have Antonio Brown. Where do you have Odell?
4,
4, and then you have
5, and 6.
5 and 6.
Oh, no, 4, 5, and 6.
Julio is 6. Odell is 5.
4.
Brown is 4.
4 and 5.
So do you want to go to catch up to your 3? Because I kind of passed you guys.
Well, I have Zeke at 5. Well, Julio 6, Zeke 5, Odell 4, Antonio 3.
Yeah, so we're kind of all just agreeing on this. We could go to
Well, 1 and 2, I mean,
Jake's stupid picks, I guess. If you guys want to hear
Where do we?
about
We're
them.
at 2 and 1.
Jake, how about you just go 1 to 4 right now?
Well, obviously, 4 and 3, Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. I got 4 at AB because I think Julio and Odell at 2 are better. So I got 1 Lev Bell, my number 1 pick, I got 2 Odell Beckham. I got 3
That's why
Julio.
he did that one too, is because he has both of those players.
He's being a little biased.
Yeah, he's
But
for sure
they both
biased.
potentially
Guys,
could be
they're
top.
both coming into Lev Bell. I hope he gets the contract he deserves. He's changing the game in football, like we talked about. Maybe we want to compare him to Kobe. I love it. I see that. I hope
we don't talk about anyone else around here. We're still kind of hung up on Kobe. I mean, we got to see if Lonzo. We got to see if Lonzo could take something over.
Put something
but
in the rafters.
Nobody will ever be Kobe. Let's just hope Lonzo could be something close to it.
And now all you guys know where we're from, so
That's right.
let's move on.
So yeah, like I said though, I really do draft the receivers. Those 3. If Lev Bell's not out there, I'm taking Odell, Julio, or AB before Zeke or David Johnson. And that's just how I'm looking at it because we're in PPR. I think all those guys, they get 10-plus points off receptions alone, not to put up their yards as well. So I feel like with them, they're reliable. More reliable than running backs. They get hurt. They get more.
I would
hurt
understand.
but they get so many touches.
I would understand that if you were ranking David Johnson that low in a standard league, but you keep saying PPR, and that automatically makes David Johnson the number 1 fantasy player if it's PPR.
That automatically. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
how is that?
Automatically.
How? With Lev Bell getting
Johnson
more touches,
there's
no way. How does he beat out Lev Bell? I think regardless
I think
Lev
it's
Bell
1A
or
and 1B. It's not,
Exactly.
It's not a
Absolutely.
difference.
I don't know
but
who's
I'm
doing
talking
better.
about David Johnson in front of all your receivers.
No,
that doesn't make sense.
That's what I got.
No.
Yeah,
I would have Zeke at 3 above Antonio Brown and Odell if there weren't all these allegations. And at our point, if we are doing the draft
I'm
and
scared of
nothing
Zeke.
is
That's why
wrong,
he's at
they
5.
clear Zeke. I would take Zeke top 3.
Top 3.
I would for sure. I have so we can go into mine. I have Zeke at 3, Bell at 2, and David Johnson at 1. That's how I see it. I think David Johnson and Bell are kind of 1A, 1B, not big of a difference. If you get a chance to get either of those players, you're good. So but I wouldn't rank David Johnson over those 3 receivers. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it. I wouldn't either. Yeah,
you would.
I mean, I would. You shit.
Fuck.
Sorry, I had to.
No, I'm glad we got on the same page there for a second.
That's not going to happen very often. But I got
catches.
Yeah, I got. So does Lev Bell. So I mean,
yes,
they both do.
And I'm saying 1A, 1B.
Exactly. They're the same player essentially.
Okay, what about AZ? And I know you said AZ's O-line is good. Are they good or are they decent? Right. That's also, I didn't mention, that's why I have them lower than all these guys is because you're playing behind Zeke, who has the best O-line. You're playing Lev Bell, who has the best O-line.
He did it last year, though.
But one other thing that David Johnson does have over Le'Veon Bell is the Steelers throw it a lot in the red zone, and the Cardinals run it a lot. And when they're throwing it to David Johnson a lot in the red zone. So David Johnson had 20 touchdowns last year, so.
What did Lev Bell have?
7.
Well, how many, receiving too?
He had 9 together. So
9
he had
together
half.
playing in 4
12.
less games.
Yeah, so 4 less games. I mean,
so give him 3 or 4 more touchdowns each game.
Still, I mean, David Johnson will give you more touchdowns.
Each
game. I don't know.
Well, you never know.
I mean,
1A, 1B, like you said. I mean, we all agree on that. Well, I don't know if Jake does. But
I would pick
I'm
those
surprised
2
you have. I'm surprised
guys.
you have Zeke at 3.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like you would put him before DJ.
No, DJ's
or maybe Bell. I don't know.
DJ and Bell are the 2 best. I mean, I'm not biased like you. You have your 2.
I think
2
Lev
people
Bell.
right there.
I got Lev Bell from you because I think he's the best player in the NFL.
And he is.
So
and I'm saying I feel I just feel like Bell and David Johnson are tied for 1. And then there's a little bit of gap until it gets to Zeke.
And the only reason you're saying I'm biased is because I have him, yes, but I do think coming into this year, after the year he had where he was in the media so much, I think Odell is going to be, just like he was a couple years ago, one of the top 3 fantasy players at the end of this year. So that's why I have him there. Regardless of if I have him or not, that's how I would rank him.
I would still rather have a running back than a receiver, though.
Yeah,
like
that's
why I have those 3 as my top 3 because I would rather have that running back.
Absolutely. I totally respect that. But I came in as playing fantasy football, I always was like super high on getting the best receivers, and so I just like sticking to it. So that is what it is.
All right, you do you.
And with those 3, that is what it is. I would totally think that running backs are so you have to have them, and I think getting them early is so relevant. I plan on going with Lev Bell that I'm keeping him. I'm going running back my first pick. So really, these for me are relevant because I'm trying to get one of these running backs right in the beginning of that. Second, third round.
You should pick Gurley.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about Gurley. I was really hoping Gordon's out there. I want Melvin Gordon. Who knows? Who has Jordan Howard?
Dan.
So what if he drops Jordan Howard?
He's not going to. It's his best player on his team.
So,
it's his only player on his team.
Who has Jay? Bo has Jay Ajayi, I think.
And Bo's going to keep him.
You think so? He has some. Who else does Bo have? He has a few other guys. But so I hope, in that I do get that. So
I think they're smart enough to keep those guys.
This is the way, we would go. So I think, has everyone finished out their top 50?
Yeah, we're good. I mean,
yeah.
I think that went well. We're gonna have more to come in the next ones too. We have 2 busts and other things. That,
now we're finally done. We're done with the list finally. So the next Now we're finally gonna be talking strictly fantasy football
and players and actually what we think they're gonna do. I think what we maybe can get into. I don't know. We'll talk about it. And we'll get back to
how much this top 50 are going to change for each of us depending on what happens in preseason week 1, like who knows
or in training camp
or
injuries,
exactly.
You never know.
Zeke's going to go to number 1.
anybody could choose at the top. You said yesterday I could be choosing Adrian Peterson at number 1, so we'll see.
Might happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So we have a lot coming your guys' way. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Follow us guys on Instagram at TheeLeague.Podcast and on Twitter at TheeLeague Pod. Tune in, like us, subscribe to us on YouTube. We'll
and have a great day. And thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yes.
Have a good one.
See ya.
What did I do? What did I do? The League, huh?